When it comes to creating video, you don't need a massive budget or professional camera skills to make a quality, engaging piece of work. If you put some time into planning and follow these tips, it's possible to use your own mobile device or other basic camera equipment to film and share quality content with your audience. Video isn't like writing text, where you can scribble or type out notes and edit them as you go along. You need to have thought about what message you want in your video before you press record. Because although you can move things around and cut things out in the edit, you can't add something in without having to refilm it, and you might not always get that chance. Write a basic script at the very least. If it's an interview, plan out questions. For anything a bit more complex, you should consider a storyboard. Really think about your audience. Who they are is everything when you're planning. Think about the language you use and the context in which the video will be viewed. Make sure you can work your equipment and practice framing, lighting and sound techniques ahead of making anything for real. Have a go at interviewing a friend or a colleague, or practice in front of the camera if you're getting on screen yourself. When thinking about where to film, consider the subject of the video and whether the background is appropriate. Factor in the noise levels, the light, and whether anything could be distracting to the viewer. The more recognisable shape for video is landscape, so unless you want to film in portrait for a specific reason, then remember to rotate your device. Ideally, use a tripod. Otherwise, try and find another way of keeping your camera still. Try and use the rule of thirds as a guide for interviews, where the subject is positioned at eye level, with more space to the left or the right depending on where the interviewer is standing. Some mobile devices have a grid to help you with this. If you're using the available light, then use it to your advantage. Always have the subject facing towards the light and try and avoid any light directly behind your subject. If you have lighting available, then do some experimenting beforehand. Sound is so important, so use a mic if you can. Otherwise, get as close to the subject as possible, still considering the framing. Listen to the background noise. Do a test and listen back to it. If you can't hear your main speaker well enough, move to a different location. Back up all your footage before you do any editing. You can do simpler edits on the device you filmed on. Or if you prefer, you can upload your footage to a computer or laptop to edit from that. There are so many things you can do with your editing, but before you get carried away, think about whether what you're adding changed the tone of your video. Finally, think about anything you want to add to direct your audience to further information, if you need to. For a more in-depth look at creating video, visit our Create website.